Yeah. It's fixing this bitch. You know how we do it. Hey yo, where my survivors at? Yeah. Hey, I'm Dwight, and I hope that's alright. I got leadership skills and a shitty flashlight. I'ma blind your eyes and do some from a twilight. Bright in your sight, it's like kryptonite. While you all dazed, I'ma just go off in this closet. Shit, you done found me, I made a deposit. Now you gonna camp me and lose your chance? Well, you better back off, get out there and defend. I've got an unbreakable bond with all of my friends, and I prove myself worthy and struggle to the end. Oh shit, now you're coming and I'm back in that closet. Fuck, it looked like I done lost it. Now I know I look a little cowardly, I admit shit. What do they call me, a hypocrite? But I'll sit here and safety until the end of the match. 1 gin, 2 gin, fuck it, get in the hatch. Hey trapper, don't be setting up no bad traps, cause I scatter with the use of my maps. We'll get all that gins while you be wasting trap time. And you keep trapping, man, thank you for the downtime. Don't be trapping, don't be hooking. If you trust me, I'ma book it. When you looking, overlooking, I'll be making my spine be chilling on my million. Thrilling, hope is still in a sudden premonition. I gotta stop this killing villain. Jake in the house and I'm headed this on. And I'm rich in the point to the cold wind farm. Drop all your hooks and I block all your traps. Now you just up with all of them basement scraps. I know my 7 nerfs are only 50%. Either way you get wrecked, I don't need your consent. Now you're on discontent. Too bad, so sad, I represent your torment. Was that me in the distance? No, it's just a mirage. Now you're gonna get barraged with the sabotage. Got a calm spirit and I got a stone iron wheel. Gonna outskill you on this windowsill. Stunned with the power, hear a pissed off roar. You in the candy when it's gonna be war. To rank up the #1, I don't need an exit door. I'm the motherfucking #1 saboteur. Yeah, raised, don't be setting up no magic trick. Going Viz, I ain't falling for that cheap shit. Quick lunatic, think you're being real slick. I'll peer out of the blue, well screw you in your peekaboo. Don't be cloaking, don't be ghosting, all this like cause you'll be hosting. Try to diagnose it while you're roasting, toasting, tasty human hors d'oeuvres, filling up reserves. Serving up supply with the flying sky spiders. Now killer, I know we just met, but you gonna regret me and Claudette. Who cares, you give me a bit of a whack. A little bit of self-care, I'll be right back. Wanna carry me down to your dungeon of pain. Stiffly the sprain, I really can't complain. Got these med kits here for that quick fix, kid. Hop right up out the hook, headed for the infinite. I'll be button windows and don't know when to quit. Now, shut your mouth, cause they're really legit. Just go ahead, admit it, I got you totally outwitted. Empathetic, sympathetic, know that Biden did it. Oh, what's that? You gonna get real mad. Get good, kid, cause the strats ironclad. Give me your rack and then you still on my heels. Well, get fucked, son, for that got infinite heals. Hey, Kill Billy got that phalanx bone. And I'm to the gods on that holy throne. The heavens by the enemy, entity, the key. Spun on me on top, the ironworks of misery. Not shelter woods, now I'm gonna get lit. Hard to split when this level's so goddamn lit. Ain't got no more pilots to dodge your bullshit malice. Breathing down malice in this fortune palace. Don't be chaining, don't be sawing while your teeth be gnawing. Heavy clawing, blowing while your spies gnawing. Stop going. What's that? You wanna train on my friends? Then watch me, bitch. Train up all of your gens to 99% dick. I make my amends when my friends fully meet their grizzly ends. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, 4, 5. Generator online, made it out alive. Don't forget about Meg as she makes a debut. I'm quick and I'm quiet and I won't be subdued. I'll sprint and I'll ball to avoid your assault. What's that? All shit, ain't none of my fault. After burners on overload and I'm going haywire. Jetting right on map and I'm totally on fire. Situation possibly get any more dire. Give 2 shits cause mags don't get tired. When you see me running, you be gunning. I got cunning, I be shunning. Second coming, my spread must be overrunning. Walking too slow and I crouch like a pro. Going in the midst of nowhere, the afterglow. Are you down, John Doe? Don't care, wasn't me, bro. With that hit, starting thrust at the turbo. One shot perk and you think you're gonna win. Well, the X is open, bitch, I got adrenaline. Peace.
And hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, new people. Anyway, thank you very much, KidFix, for that amazing video. We tried to show it a few weeks back, and we miserably failed for unknown technical reasonings. So I thought we should do it again because it's so cool and so wonderful and so brilliant. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. As you may have noticed, we have replaced Matt and Dave with 2 completely different people today because Matt and Dave are at Comic-Con. But guys, do you want to introduce yourself and then we can get on from there?
Sure. Hi, I'm Sebastian. I'm the animator for Dead by Daylight.
I'm McLean, programmer, internet lurker.
So, and I'm Ash, I'm the creative director. So today, Dave and Matt are not here. They are at Comic-Con. So that's the first hot bit of news for what's going on in the Dead by Daylight universe. We don't have them live, unfortunately, although our link up with Matt at PAX was not the greatest of things. But turns out the potential chances of getting a Skype connection into Comic-Con are 0. But we do have a hot picture. They have met a new friend who I don't recognize in any way, shape, or form.
Who could it be?
I don't know, but they seem to. Matt seems very happy. Dave, quite happy.
Strangely happy sitting next to a guy with a knife.
Is that a knife?
It is a knife.
It looks. I don't get it. Maybe it'll all come clear soon. Maybe.
That guy on the left is super scary.
Yeah. New killer official revealed by McLean as Matthew Cote. Was that the different right? Did I get the wrong right?
You got it wrong.
Okay, Dave then. New killer Dave, Lumberjack Dave.
Lumberjack Dave.
Watch out for the Axeman. He is coming.
He is coming.
So yeah, there was someone there. That was interesting. Well, I guess then I should just introduce our mods: Murph, Sassy, Clyde, Dickford, and Peanuts. Thank you very much for all your amazing work once again. So Comic-Con, they're a Comic-Con.
Yes.
We're not a Comic-Con.
No.
Sadly not.
No, what are we doing?
We're here.
We're entertaining with
Twitch.
everyone.
And working very hard on fixing the game.
Very hard.
Of course, because that's what we do all day, every day, with no breaks of any kind, because that's the way of game development.
Yeah. The rest of the team is chained to their desks.
It is. I managed to unchain these two with a special pass. They were allowed down, otherwise you'd have had to suffer me the whole time, which, as we can only imagine how terrifying that would have been. So that's good. Comic-Con. If you are at Comic-Con, you must go and see them. They will give you free cards, cards for customization and stuff like that. There's cool stuff they've got. You might also meet their new friend who seems to be hanging around with them a lot. He's kind of tall, strange-looking chap, carries a knife, it seems. So if you find him, maybe you'll get a little bit more information as to just what on earth he's doing there.
If you see him, give him a big hug, too.
Well, at range.
At your own risk.
A ranged hug is the only real way to deal with that. Now, were there any questions about that? No? No, good. Okay, then we shall move on with a little movie to get things going.
Oh, hey.
So
Hi.
what was that? There you go.
So we're back, and that was quite the video.
It was. That is our teaser video. So as a result of that, we can't really talk about anything. That's not entirely true. We can talk about stuff. That is obviously our teaser reveal of our upcoming next October chapter. As we all know, there is a very popular holiday in October called Halloween.
There is?
And this is true. If you did not know this, this is fact.
I hear it's not such a big deal outside of North America.
Well, it's growing. It's growing. But what is a big deal is a certain movie that was released about that time in 1978 with a very iconic looking chap who seems to be currently walking around Comic-Con right now. There we go. If any of you are worried, we will be releasing a new chapter in October. It will be based on the Halloween license. It will feature a Mr. Myers as a killer. Maybe I've revealed too much already.
I think you might have.
Teaser. It's like, maybe I should be stunned. Well, there are a couple of articles out there you can look at. So I think I'm safe enough to reveal a little bit about the upcoming chapter. I'm sure that's what everyone is actually here for. So feel free to ask questions about that if you want to. I will try and answer as best I can. I'm not going to give away too much about the upcoming chapter, but I'll give away what we can. I mean, we know what you get in a chapter. You get a level, you get a killer, and you get a survivor. So there's also other things associated with that. But
There's a lot of good stuff.
Are we going to split the community with this update?
Absolutely not. We do hate to split the community. So as a reminder, if you do not want to collect the chapter, then everyone will get the level. So the level will just go into the rotation of the levels. So whatever you do, however you collect it or play the game, you will get access to the new level. If you do not have the killer, you will be able to play against the killer if someone else has it. So
That's
if you
terrifying.
are a survivor main, you will be able to play against Michael. And as a killer, if you have the killer, then you will be able to obviously hunt survivors. So that's the way it works. So the idea is that we try never, I say never ever, but we try our damnedest to never split the community. That's the goal. And to also be as generous as we possibly can. So there'll be more details on pricing. I'm not going to announce anything about that now. That will come in the next few days or weeks building up to the release, whenever that is, but more than likely October sometime, I would say. Then there will be more information, more details revealed. It's super cool. We are ridiculously excited about it. We can't talk too much about it, but both of you have obviously played some part in
Maybe.
Yes.
in the development, and are you quite excited about it?
I'm
Or
extremely
I
excited.
hope so. It would be miserable if they turned around and said, no, we played it for ages, it's rubbish.
It's
It's okay. No, it's awesome. I'll tell you, without giving anything else away, what the setup, I'm just trying to pick my words so carefully here. The setup of what we're doing is designed to change some preconceived conceptions of the game. There's from both killer perspective, from both survivor's perspective, we're trying to push our game further, and I'm certainly confident that with the changes that we've made, that we're going in the right direction. Like it's not that like you could have pushed it so far and everything had fallen apart at the seams and exploded, and we had to go back to like, oh no, it has to be exactly this way. And although we've preserved the core of the game, I think that's pretty much it. We've made some changes in the procedural and in the level design and in the way that things happen in the game that we can. I feel we could go even further in the future. That's the good part. It's not like we reached a certain point and went, we've reached the limit of our game. It's like, no, we're just at the beginning now. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's actually really exciting to see all the big changes coming and things like that. Like, I think the fans will be quite excited about this.
I hope
this
so.
chapter.
Can you tell us anything about his power?
I'm not going to reveal that power because I know Dave has a lot to reveal on that. But I can tell you it's based on the idea of stalking. So he is, if you look at the killers that we have out there now, he falls under the category of, Wraithy Trapper style.
Wraithy Trapper?
Wraithy Trapper. That's TM. You can put that in a box. You can sell it for small amounts of change on eBay.
Trademark pending.
Yeah, trademark. No, it's now trademark owned. I just owned it now. So please feel free to funnel all monies back to me for Wraithy Trapper TM. It's great. No, he's kind of in that vibe, but it's different. I mean, he requires a different play style, and he's pretty powerful. But I won't give any more details about exactly
But he's
how
not
it
too
works.
powerful, though.
No, but this is it. Like until we reveal everything as a package, it's hard to really understand any of these things out of context. But there will be the usual reveal videos with descriptions of exactly how the powers work, how the perks are going to work. Everything's going to come. This is just a teaser to announce that this is what we're doing for our October chapter. It's going to be very, very awesome.
Will he be massively OP?
Naturally, like with all things, he will be massively OP and hugely UP at the same time.
Yes.
That's good. Just the way I like him.
Just the
Super
perfect-
overpowered.
But as with all our killers, we'll do the same thing we do anywhere. Like we have been play testing him for a little bit now, some pretty large scale tests, and we think we've got a sweet spot of what's cool for his power. But we'll be, as soon as we launch and even beforehand, we'll be tracking the stats, tracking the data, working out exactly his positioning and adjusting accordingly to put him into the right place. I mean, again, without explaining everything, with the level design changes, it's also how all the other killers work with the level design changes. So we may see shifts in all kinds of types of play, and until players really get the hang of what's going on and how it works, then it's going to be a few days of adjustment, I think, for everyone, and then the data will really come in and we'll work out. Is he OP? I don't think he's OP.
No, I think he's quite balanced.
He scares the hell out of me.
He is quite scary.
It's good though. It's good.
It's
great.
good though. It's the whole point of the game, right? Is give you a good scare.
So will the new chapter go on the public beta? I do not know because we have not made that decision yet. We will see. I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
It would be fun, but there are problems.
Yes.
Doing that.
So we will see about that. It would obviously be ideal to do that, but it's possible that a part of it might go on the public beta or the public test server, just from the purpose. Maybe the level design goes on. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's obviously there are some issues, licensing issues with that, making sure that we get that ironed out in the way we want.
We're not supposed to call it a test.
You're right. I should be thoroughly electrocuted on a gentle way. If you could gently electrocute me for at least 6 minutes, that would be fine.
That's strangely specific.
This is absolutely why. No, I've been through it before. I'm regularly saying stupid things that Dave and Matt are chastising me for. Now they're not here. I'm out of control. All right. Okay. Where were we with that? Does anyone have another question about that? No. Does anyone see anything exciting? We definitely need someone to be reading our questions.
Bobby Richards 2014 asks, will Spies in the Shadow actually ever be worth using?
I can't answer any gameplay issues, nor will I without Dave being here.
I think it's
Good
already
call.
worth using. I think it's my third favorite killer perk.
So there you go. I will stay completely independent on all opinions of perks and powers, worrying much more about...
Well, if you're neutral and you're 4, I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, I hate it.
You can't stand it. Have it removed.
Remove it,
Double
it's
up.
done. I hate it, it's OP.
So that's it. Note taken on my magical air pen. So, yes, so that's Dead by Daylight's very exciting new chapter. It will be coming soon. You will get more information on it. And no doubt I will show you that trailer again at some point during the Twitch, just in case you missed it, because we are really quite excited about it. It's great. It's very fun. Okay. Apparently you look like an H1Z1 character model, which I find
Who does?
amusing. You.
Me?
Yes, that's the rather nice let's all comment on how they look part of the show. So,
Thank you, I
very
guess.
good. So, on its way, while we discussed that, on its way is a new chapter, and it's coming in October, and it may or may not, but probably, more than likely, will contain some Halloween activity.
Maybe.
More than likely to be Michael Myers, which is amazing and super exciting. So, game changes. I have had a very deep discussion with the designers today, and they told me some stuff about the game state. Now, Dave is not here, and I cannot really comment too deeply on all these minutiae of the game mechanics, but I can tell you a few things that we have been working on and discussing over the last week, so that you know that at least which direction we're moving on. We are improving our internal build on hook camping. There has been a bit of an interesting suggestion from the design team, which is currently being worked on now.
Can you tell us anything
No,
more?
I will not. I will not. I can tell you, but I will not. I will not tell you about that. But it's very interesting, and what I will tell you is the intent behind it, because I think that's probably more intentional. Like that, when you set out to fix something, you can either just destroy it and get rid of it, and you can make a blanket rule saying this cannot happen anymore. Or what we've always tried to do with the hook camping, which is why we've never destroyed it in the first place, is we've always wanted to change behavior by adding a more positive action for someone if we can, so that we can, because we've always felt, especially with hook camping, that it's kind of a valid strategy. And if we'd wanted to just destroy it and nerf it, we could have done that. Just said it just doesn't happen. Like, at one point we had prototypes where the killer was blinded standing in front of it. We tried the timer that made it much longer, and we always saw very weird counter player behaviors.
Yeah, some
So-
of our alpha testers had to sit through a lot of weird variations of hook camping mechanics, and none of them felt good.
No, none of them felt good, and all of them created something new. And sometimes that wasn't even from the point of view of the killer. So when we had like this weird stun or the increased timer, we would notice survivors would start to play differently. They would start to game the time mechanic.
Yeah.
They would lure killers in and create more frustrating loops. So it is a long work in process. I think anyone who makes a multiplayer game knows that you either just ban camping and you don't want it, and you just destroy it by saying that the moment you stop you die, if you want. But we
That's
never
no fun.
wanted to. No, exactly. We didn't want to do that. So we have been working towards a solution. I really like the solution that was presented last week. I think it's going to be really interesting. Of course, there's every potential that it might create new player things that we don't know, but it's very good because it's a very positive reinforcement exercise that we finally come up with. And it's actually a couple of things that that we had prototyped a long time back, combined with a lot of the learnings of what we've had so far. So I expect that kind of thing to go into the public test realm at some point soon to see if we can find an answer to that, because that still remains one of our big issues. And even though I personally see it less and less in the game, it's still an issue. It's still something that, you know, that occurs on a regular basis. So.
Yeah, and then we got to fix. I mean, if players are exploiting it, we have to.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I think it's something we're going to continue working towards. So that is hook camping. So there you are. Absolutely no concrete information on how we're going to fix it.
Just the way you
certainly
like it.
Some. So I was also informed, and I also know this for a fact, that they are working very hard on the points and scoring and continuing investigation in how to fix the issues of points farming. I know there's some big plans afoot. They will not be in the short term, so don't either freak out about losing all your ways of earning points in the short term, but there will be changes in the future to how that happens. I know there's a big push in design right now on how to slow the game down.
Could run at half speed.
Yes, we could do that, but we are not.
Cut everyone's
doing that.
FPS down. That's
It's
another
just
way.
get super choppy. So I know they're working on that. It's we have noticed in the stats a general speeding up of the game. There's a couple of reasons we know about this, and a couple of weird behaviors that have come out that we don't know about that. The generator rush seems to ever more be part of the first 30 seconds of the game. So we're not only investigating that, but we're actively looking at different solutions to do that. And a couple of them come in with a couple of the questions that we had about how we're going to make a few things happen. Like I think the mastery of skill checks on generators is one of the issues. Like it was only a matter of time before people just got the hang of that and the boost associated with it, and multiple people doing it at multiple times, all of which have mastered it. I mean, it's natural. We knew that was going to happen. So we're looking into trying to fix that. Sabotage loops. This is being looked at now as well. It's another big talking point amongst the community. Yeah, but we're going to continue looking at all these features until we get the right answers.
You mean we can fix it and then fix it more?
Yes, it can definitely be double fixed, and in some cases triple or quadruple fixed.
My goodness.
And sometimes even more than that if necessary.
That's too many fixes.
But I think we've always had this policy of where possible we will try and incrementally fix something rather than just charge out and just wildly slice at something. We've probably done that.
We do that sometimes.
Yeah, no, with no word of a lie, we have done that from time to time. But behavioral, and this is it. Like when we sit down and it's a behavioral event, it's player-based behaviors. We would still rather try and shift behaviors. It's exactly the same as hook camping. We'd like to shift your behavior into something you would rather do than just smack it with a ruler.
Right.
It's just not as fun as all that.
A bladed ruler?
No. Just a flat one for the sting.
Or if you just electrocute them lightly
for 6 minutes. 6.5. For like I only need 6. It's happened a lot. So some need more, some need less. So sabotage loops are on the work. Again, we want the word for that is we want to make them more fun and strategic. So there is a reason to do it, but it's not going to be quite what it was. I mean, we've all seen it, we all know it. So we're going to look at that. Jungle Gym solution went live,
Thank God.
Which is yes. So that went live. It's created a little issue that the end result is a little bit of a no man's land at certain points.
Yeah, I know. I had an interesting chat with Matt about this, and I know that he's got another iteration on this coming up, slated to be seen by the public. I can't say the word.
Are you saying we're fixing it more?
I'm saying we're fixing it more.
Guys, please, no more double fixes.
No, this might be a quad fix. I think we're just beyond that now. It's like each week we'll just fix and double fix. But I mean, so many of our features are in the endless cycle of improvement, and you know there is no end to it. We could continue to do it, and as new behaviors become more dominant, then we move to adjust those as we go through. And there's also the T-wall, if you're interested in the T-wall, which is a new type of wall, which has some issues in it. That is also under investigation. I was informed that we thought there was a problem.
Yeah.
Then it turns out there wasn't a problem.
Well, the T-wall has a hole in it.
Yeah.
Which there are a lot of opinions about that.
Yeah, this is what I was understood, and even from all I was told to say, they are revisiting the T-wall, having previously closed the T-wall discussion. They have reopened it because maybe they think there is a problem there and they're going to take care of it.
If they do, will it be like soon?
I can't answer that, and we can't say soon. All I know is that they're looking at it. Like all these things, I believe that all these things will go into the public test room.
Okay.
Because these ones are free of So I imagine when we have something to report on these issues, I'll go into the test room, we'll open it up for a period of time this time where we try and get as many people in to test these particular issues, to really stress them and get as many quality survivors and killers into the same environment at the same time. Really see if we fix the issue, and if we have, then we'll roll it out and it'll be no problem. So, yes.
I hear that the hole in the T-wall is so you can teabag.
It might be true, and not intentionally that I know of. You never know.
Look for that hidden emote.
Yes, it's not that hidden. So that's great. And they're also continuing to work on the teachable perk solution, which is what we talked about last time. The idea that, when teachables become available to all players, even though you haven't necessarily gone to level 50 on your blood web and unlocked them all. So there will be a solution implemented in a nearby update. The design is solidified, the design has gone through, the UI is in process. That will be going in.
Didn't we talk about this a little bit
we
last week?
did talk about it, but I can't remember exactly how clear we were on it. And Dave's the man. So you have to wait for Dave. Dave will tell you everything when he comes back. Or better still, go find him in Comic-Con and say, tell me about this crazy new teachable perk thing that you created.
Yeah.
Because it's super exciting and it's cool and it's great. And finally I can get those cool perks because I only ever played Dwight, which is stupid. But that's the way it goes.
No, Dwight's not stupid.
No, Dwight isn't stupid. Me playing Dwight relentlessly is stupid.
Oh, okay.
Does this have something to do with the thing that the kids say, the pay to win?
Yeah, I think it does. I think that's something that we do care about a lot. Pay to win is not something that we ever wanted to do. Whenever you have DLC in whatever form it takes, there's always a potential to be drawn as a pay to win game. It's the thing that we want to be as far away from as we possibly can be, because it's just not what we set out to do or what we wanted to do. So the goal is that in this case we can make perks available to everyone who plays our game. I like the system that we're going to introduce. I think it's going to be cool and it's going to be fun and it's going to be fair. Will it make everyone happy? Probably not, but it will be a very cool solution to the problem. It'll fit into the fiction and the lore. It'll work with systems you already have, and it will enable you to get hold of perks that you wouldn't normally be able to, just by showing your love for the game.
Which you should.
Yeah, exactly.
Show love for the game.
Exactly. There you go.
What's
Look,
next?
Dwight to win. D to win.
That's good.
Yes, please. Oh, yes. If you pay $1 million, Dwight wins every game.
Oh.
I forgot that. Did I still say that? No, yeah. Sorry, that's it. Feel free to just pay the $1 million. Then we'll make some features out.
Yeah.
What's next? What did you say? I'm going to talk animation now with Varas.
Oh, okay.
Senor Varas.
I have no idea. So I'm going to talk. So what are you going to tell us about? Are you going to talk about creating a new killer?
Right, the process of creating new killer. So, I like to be on the forums a lot in this Steam, and I see people always talking about the animations, and particularly the Wraith.
Mm-hmm. What do they say?
They say they love it. It's the best they've ever seen.
That's all that we need to know. There we go. That's learning about mechanics.
That's it. So I actually pulled up a video to show the process, and I thought it was very interesting because the Wraith was actually our second.
I think the challenge of creating the second killer was one of the biggest hurdles.
It was during the process.
Our first killer who wasn't our first killer.
It's true. That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
As well.
He was
quite lore heavy.
Yeah,
it's quite good. I like it.
Good job,
that's a cool point, because we obviously had such a strong idea of that first killer when we had him out. He was so iconic. He was the first killer, and even during points of development when we didn't know which way we were going, he was going to be our only killer at one point. Even though we always dreamed of this pantheon of killers.
Yeah.
But when we had to move from a very traditional thing into something else.
Yeah, it was quite the difficult process, because when we were designing the trapper, we had that, like you said, that mindset, like this is a very grounded individual. He's a big, strong guy. So when you see the model, the animations really come to you very easily. You're like, oh, well, obviously I know what I'm making for this. But the Wraith was a lot more challenging. We had to shift gears completely in mindset and how he looks. He's a very slender fellow. And at the time, we hadn't really finished his lore or
No.
real character background.
It was in process.
Yeah, it was in process. So we were really kind of like fiddling around, figuring it out. And the video that we're going to queue up, which do we?
Is it the 1, 2,
Yep.
3?
Okay. Yeah. So here we have the original run, which the mindset we were developing with this one was we wanted this guy to be somewhat of like a woodsman hunter-esque thing. So we tried to create a very sleek run. Of course, keep in mind this is still early development. We made this animation when we were still in alpha.
And it was very much like, I mean, you know, the thin, high-speed thing as opposed to the big, strong, like the silhouette itself was designed to be something quite different to spot when you look at it across the environment. And the other thing
that's
about
another
it
thing
is,
too, is during a lot of these animations, particularly like the idle and the run, we wanted it so when the survivors saw the killer, they knew exactly, just from the silhouette of the pose, what killer was in that level. Like when they spot it, they're like, oh, I know exactly who's coming to kill me now.
I like this animation a lot. It does make me think of a certain TV show about child ninjas.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
No.
but I believe you.
Yeah.
that is not announced as a license for November.
We haven't gotten that yet?
No, we're only talking about any chapters for October.
Okay. And so the next one we have, now this is a little turnaround. This is the second phase idea we had, in which we wanted to take a step back because we felt the emotion was too intense of that lean forward, because he is a hunting, in the woods kind of guy, but not quite as intense as the last one. So this is a nice little turnaround. You can see him running. We like this one, but it felt a little too...
It looks like he's out for a jog.
Yeah, he feels like he's out for a jog, and not like
Wraith don't jog.
No, they don't.
This is the first one that was in the game, right?
Yes, this is the first one the players got to see, because we were so busy making all this and that we couldn't really get the hard idea out. But we managed to get the backtrack, and which I love. I love always going back in old animations and polishing them and really making them shine.
It takes time.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
That's it. Like, I mean, it's not a process that can be nailed. Sometimes it can. Sometimes we get it bang on. But more with something like this, which is like locomotion for a character. It's especially in our game. Especially, we'll talk about the challenges between third person and first person, because of course that's a big issue. Like, you're only looking at this from the perspective of a survivor, but you've got to also worry about what it's like from a first person killer perspective.
That's right. That's right.
There's a great question here. Where's his bell?
That is a really good question.
Well,
and would anyone on the programming team like to fill us in on that?
The bell is invisible. It's an invisibility bell.
He has a point. He has a point.
Oh man, we really tried to spin that one. Yeah, but technically speaking, it's worth explaining where the bell is.
Well, we have a bell.
We do have a
We
bell.
have animations for a bell.
We do have animations for a bell. And I'm sure we had plans to put the bell in the hat. But we thought we'd fix matchmaking first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pretty large list of things that need to be fixed first.
So the answer is, like, we had a system for the bell to appear and disappear, like for example the Hillbillies chainsaw
Yes.
is another very good example where exactly the same mechanics could have. And we had wanted the bell to appear and disappear in exactly that manner. We have all the bits, right?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
working?
We a matter of fact, we
Is
made
it
the
because
animation and everything.
in my memory, which I assure you is not the truth, I imagined that someone put it down at some point, because at one point it was an actual interactive item,
Yep.
and the
Yep.
bell could actually be placed on the ground.
Yeah.
And due to that bug, at some point someone turned it off, and we never turned it
We
back
never
on.
turned it
But
back
I'm
on.
sure it's. But I just remember that day when it was like, did I put the bell on the ground? And then it was not in my hand, and then it never came back again for that.
You dropped the bell.
It's like someone dropped it in a level and no one ever found it again. That's pretty much where I am on that.
It's
How
in
about
the
a-
entities lost and found box right
Exactly.
now.
pick up the bell DLC.
There you go. It's coming soon in November. A confirmed
Confirmed new chapter.
Pickup. Somewhere in one of the levels is the bell. If you pick it up, we'll all get it on the Wraith character.
I think there's another animation, isn't there?
Yes, there's one more. Now, this was another phase we were doing, which we were exploring the creeping aspects, because we decided we really like this guy creeping after the players. And as you can see, he has a lot more personality here. And truth be told, if I had a guy walking at me like this down the street, I would be quite scared.
Yeah, he's
I would be
quite-
pretty nervous.
I have so many questions about this Wraith.
But I actually couldn't get the final one, so...
Oh, you couldn't show us the final one?
No.
Then
Well,
you'll have to play the game.
play the game. If you want to see the
by
final
all
one,
means,
play the game.
Anyway, the final one is very cool. It shows a real the exploration, the end of the exploration. I think it's really what we picked finally is it's good.
Yeah, that was good.
Great. Wraith is great. But it was also that he was because we made that choice to embrace the supernatural for the first time. So he came with those. You can go invisible. It was like he had special powers that the Trapper didn't have. They were different. They were fundamentally different. So all those things made it more, well, I guess, free or complex. How do you look at it? When I say to you, oh, by the way, this one can be magic. Oh, don't make it magic. When I say that to you,
well, actually, you can tell when I get that type of stuff, I get very excited. But then you kind of reach into this dilemma of like, oh, now I have too many choices. I can do whatever I want, and I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
So quite often, like during the development process, actually, it's a good segue to talk about the development process some more. Is quite often, we'll do like a large batch of animations with posing and silhouette, and present it to Ash and Matt and Dave, and ask them like, what do you think? Is this good? Is this bad?
Yeah. It's a feedback on this. It's regular feedback every day.
Yeah, every day.
Conversations we have every day, trying to get it better and better and better. Why is he so skinny?
He skipped leg day.
Skipped all his days.
Yeah. Come on, everyone knows you don't skip leg day.
That's his natural physique. Yeah. Once. Maybe something happened to him in the law. Maybe he went through a process.
Could be.
Or not.
They just stretched him out like this.
Could have happened.
He was actually only 4 feet tall before the incident.
It does look a little bit like some of them were tortured.
So now I think it's good to move on to the next one.
You ready to move on? You done with this one? This is done. We're done with this one now. Seb says move on.
Let's move on.
I think so.
Well, I have one more. We have one more animation to look at.
What's this one? This one.
Yes. This one was probably one of my favorite ones to work on, which is the nurse's Memento Mori.
I think this is my favorite animation in the entire game, to be honest.
I have to say this was a lot of fun to make.
I mean, there's so much to talk about on this one in terms of concept and how we went through this process. I think the big question that we wanted to address in this one, or we tried to address, is one animation amongst hundreds in the game, but we wanted to simultaneously create more character in the animation.
Yeah.
And we wanted to up the level of horror in our game.
That's right, because up until this point, really, most of the Memento Moris, we tried to be very careful on doing the less is more, where we didn't actually see, if you were in the camper's perspective, or the survivors, you didn't actually get to see the gore, like the hillbillies' chainsaws. It's just slightly off screen a little, just to allow the player's imagination to take over the rest. But this one, we were like, you know what, let's just go all out and really show them the
I was scared.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was scared. We discussed. I was scared about this. I wanted to cut to different cameras and show less. And and it's very interesting when you did the mock-up of the model with, and I think there's so much about perception in the world about what we're doing and being responsible with what you show in video games and what you do, and the fact that it was a woman being killed made a big impact on me. And then when you changed it to Dwight, I had to question why I didn't mind that so much. And it was like, that doesn't seem so bad. It was like, but that seemed really bad. And it was like, no, I need to really question as to whether this is genuinely unacceptable or whether this is okay. And then I watched one episode of Daredevil and I was like, you know what? I think everything in the world is acceptable. But I think responsibility in video games is something that, everyone should pay some part to. I don't think you should just be allowed to put whatever you want onto screen. There are real connotations in how you portray stuff, and the act of strangulation was something that I was not 100% comfortable with off the bat.
If I can be perfectly honest, when I was making this animation, because this animation took about I would say about a week of work to produce. There were some nights I was kept up because I had to sit around and like draw my sketchbook and all the different poses and ideas and planning the whole thing out in my mind. And there were some nights I was up thinking like, what am I thinking about? Why am I trying to imagine a strangulation? But as you can see, it turned out quite well.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got the nurse, and then ultimately you play it in the game. You see it 5% of the time. It all works in context, and that's the thing. You take it out of context, like you watch it. Let's say you watch it 27 times,
like we are now.
To 1,706 people who could all watch that relentlessly and are going, "Will you stop this?" Or not, or going, "No,
Please
that's
stop
fine."
the
Sorry,
murder.
everybody. Anyway, hilarious, brilliant, well done. Anyway, well done, Seb. That was
Thank you.
awesome. I really like that. Do you have anything else to add to your memento mori?
Yes. Well, there's. I've been sitting on an Easter egg for a long time.
You have an Easter egg?
Yeah, I've been hiding it from you guys. Nobody's caught it. It's the Memento Mori combo of Nurse and Wraith. Do you have that? There you go.
Oh yeah, I missed that. This has not been seen in the game for some time. And
I couldn't hide it. I want to show the world.
I feel as animator on our project that there is still quite a long way to go in terms of character posing yet to be done. And I understand we are colossally busy on so much stuff, but if you could try a little harder to produce more high quality poses, then I certainly will be a happier person every single day. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
And that's the last time we invite animators.
Oh,
that's not true. We are
sorry,
delighted
guys.
to- No, that was great. That was cool just to get a little bit. If you want to ask more questions about animation, or you want Seb back, then feel free to email someone else about that.
Now get out.
Oh, okay.
No,
See you
it's
guys.
great. No, it's cool. It was great to have a little bit of an insight, which I think is going to be the theme for today.
Insight.
Insight into the dev team, the dev environment, how we work, meet some other people, and learn a bit more. So now we move on to programming, a subject I know nothing about.
Me neither.
No, thank God for that. So
Thank
that's
God.
why everything is the way it is.
It all makes sense.
Hashtag McLean fix it.
That's
Later.
right. Thank God the Fix-It Man is here. So, what are you going to talk to us about today?
I brought some videos of what it looks like when I attempt to fix stuff.
Which happens on an hourly basis,
Mhm.
possibly minutely.
I think I brought something. It says Gameplay Zoo. So there's a number of different ways that we can test environments.
Don't worry about that. That's just a traditional,
Yeah.
complete collapse of all technology.
It's-
You
it's-
may continue.
it's
Just pretend they can see it. It's great.
Oh, okay. I was getting worried. It was going
No,
too
you were like,
smooth.
oh no, black. It's all going to go wrong. We have to stop suddenly. No. Just continue as if nothing has gone wrong.
Okay.
It's fine. And we'll try again, and then it'll probably work, or it won't work. But we're getting better at fixing these issues as we go on. So, Gameplay Zoo.
Yeah, the first when we're trying to test stuff or iterate on stuff, there are different ways we can do it based on how much fidelity we want compared to the actual game, because it would take a prohibitive amount of time to boot up the game and go like a real player through to exactly the spot where we're making changes every single time. We wouldn't be done until 2020. So there are a lot of little time-saving tricks we use, and one of them is a test environment right in our editor, so we can make a whole bunch of changes and fire it up right away and take a look at what it looks like. So I have a video of that.
Or
which
you
will-
don't.
Or we don't.
We may have a video of that. And
Let's have a look.
let's.
No. Why don't you describe? Can you act it out for us?
Or sing it. I don't mind if
maybe-
you sing it.
Oh yeah. Can we get a musical?
Yes, but I'll have to work on that next.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. We should give him at least 5 minutes to prepare before
true.
providing a
Well, we
full
can
musical
stall. We can
breakdown.
talk and.
Yeah.
But what kind of what is your role?
There
What
once
is
was
your
a gameplay zoo. The fidelity looked like poo.
amazing? Do not put that on MP3 and sell it to people. Do not do that. And if you do, give him the money because it's going to be great.
Send it to me. I want to put it as my ringtone, please.
Yeah. But how much of your day do you spend fixing bugs?
I think it's about 50-50 at this point between fixing bugs and shoving in new features.
And the bugs you fix are like long-term known bugs, or are they?
Well, it depends. A lot of the time, there's a lot of streams happening at the same time. There's a pile of old bugs that we've known about for a long time. There's iterations on the current stuff that we're working on. There's a video. This is a video.
Ah.
I don't know who those people are.
All right. So this is the gameplay zoo. There's a bunch of stuff in it.
Is this like literally are you running effectively the full game engine with all its features?
This
or?
is just the game engine. So there's all the game code is in here, but this isn't the game itself. This is the editor that we use to create content for Dead by Daylight. This is a little area that we created to test out stuff. There's all our toolboxes and our med kits and a key.
You're giving away all our secrets, man.
There's probably no secrets in here.
Could you, if you,
No, I'm
if
kidding.
you
There's no
looked,
secrets.
if you looked hard enough in a level, might you find an entrance to this?
You know what? You should try that. You should try
I was
everything.
in no way dropping a crazy...
This is the
that's
Megs
amazing.
jumping over pallets area.
I love it.
That's my favorite part. Actually, no. Over there to the left is my favorite part. We'll get there. After we hit the locomotion area where we can test going up and down stuff.
And that's like, stairs, when we added stairs in, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was a
Don't
big
forget
deal.
that.
Oh my god, that was animation, the hoopla, getting up
How
the stairs.
are bear traps on stairs?
Perfect.
Yeah, that's in no way...
No comment about that.
Traps in general were a complicated little thing to do, right?
They were.
Traps were a rather complicated feature, I'll be completely honest.
So what are you doing here? Like you go in here, you can you have Meg scripted setup going over pallets, and then you
well, in
you
this
can test your
case, I believe I was
interruptions.
testing a little problem where the nurse could interrupt when she really wasn't supposed to, and I think here I was testing that the fix worked by trying to do a double tap, an attack and grab. There was a certain timing where you could attack and then grab, and here I was testing to make sure that it was fixed, and it looked like it was okay.
So that's how you go about doing it. You go in here, you do your fix, and then you incorporate it into the game wildly with no testing.
It's very well.
No testing at all.
I mean, I
Shooting
think
from
there,
the hip.
there
This
are
is the
some people
definition.
who would probably believe that, but it's not exactly how it goes.
No, exactly. This is just one step on a process of identifying the issues. So can you set up anything you want in here? You use the same thing for animation, right?
All the time. It's how I test all my mental mores and general locomotions and things like that.
It's-
That beautiful death idol.
Yeah, that's good.
Or dying.
Yeah, so this is good for testing a lot of. That's my desktop, guys.
Nice. I approve.
So don't approve.
I double approve now.
Yeah, so you may have seen, though, that there were a lot of things that weren't quite right in that video. Like you saw that the interaction prompt for the nurse was in the middle of the screen, and you were seeing the prompts for other players. There's a bunch of technical reasons for this. I'm just going to, some voodoo. So it's not a very good representation of the network environment, to get too technical. If we want to do that, then we're actually going to have to run instances of the game. And we have a video of what that looks like. So this is
You are simultaneously running 4 games.
This is me hard at work testing. This is a little problem we had with a perk called Iron Will. There was a lot of confusion about whether it was working or not working, and I fixed it 2 times, and people kept telling me it was still broken.
You double fixed.
This was a quadruple fix.
Okay.
Oh, no more, please.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Seb. You're done. We've done it. It's fine. You may rest. A little.
A little.
Yeah. So there's a bit of advanced hacking happening
Do
here.
we need to advance 2 minutes through this video?
No, we will
Okay.
at one point. So there was a bit of advanced hacking as I set up what I wanted to test there with the Iron Will. And now we can go. Yeah, we can skip ahead.
You want to skip ahead 2 minutes?
Uh,
Or to 2 minutes into it? Or?
yeah, about 2 minutes. That's fine.
We'll just go back to some loading. So you are literally running 4 versions of the same game
Yes.
on your slightly more powerful than average PC.
Yes.
Okay.
And so here.
How do you play all 4 at the same time? Do you?
I'm really good at this game.
I believe it.
I know from doing videos of playing, even just jumping between 2 of the characters can be tough. Look at that! You can see everything. How do you do that?
Yeah, here I'm doing more advanced hacking, and I'm looking at everything in the level, and then I thought, oh no, actually I only want to see the survivors, so I'm gonna
Stare at a tree.
I'm gonna run into a tree a couple of times.
You're so good.
I'm so good at this game.
You're so good at this.
And go over to Jake over here, who's got his Iron Will. He's just waiting for death. And I assume that the stream can hear the audio from this. So I do a little test here to make sure, can I hear him? I think I checked on both my left ear, right ear. No. So I was pretty happy about that. And then I wanted to check that over on the Survivor side that he couldn't hear it either, because I believe what was currently happening, and what's probably still happening on the live version of the game, is that the killer's not going to hear you, but you'll hear yourself, and that'll make you doubt, of course, that the perk is working properly.
Right, no, that's absolutely right. And I think there's a question about survivor breathing in here that I think may be the same
Maybe.
issue. Because of one perspective
Yeah.
hears something the other doesn't.
Quick interruption. I love, though, the chat saying that you need to be VAC banned.
Do I? Oh. They're just jealous that I'm so good.
That must be what it is. Yeah, though he is a cheat. This is official, but he's allowed to be because he develops the game and he needs to cheat. But yes, ban him. McLean.
Ban McLean. Hashtag ban
Hashtag
McLean.
ban McLean.
It's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So that's very good. So do you have anything else to add to that? Other than that's your test process. That's how it goes. That's cool.
That was a little...
So that's a little bit about how we fix bugs, because I know bugs are an issue, and I know that we are fixing them. So just as evidence of bug fixing, there's Louis fixing a bug.
I'm doing
Testing it. So now I am going to take you back in time, because I did it last week, and I'll take you to the next phase. So here's a couple of minutes of our second prototype. So now we can have a look at this. So this is, if you remember last week, we looked at the crazy bunny ear high-speed moving man.
Ash, is that you?
Yes, that is me. You can tell by the fact I'm grey in all forms of life. So no, in this version, now this was from the very beginning of 2015, this one. So the previous one was well before that. We'd moved on, and in this version we had an almost completely working prototype now. It was procedural. You can see a lot of the mazes, and you can even see evidence there of a certain orange hatch on the ground, so you can see that happen. So if you guys see anything that looks weird, do let me know, because I don't know if either of you were around,
I wasn't
at,
around at this point.
No, I was still in Santiago at this time.
And that's what happened. So yeah, so what's interesting here is we had a completely different type of exit. So it still revolved doing the generators, but it had a big difference that we tried. There is our killer. This one had a gas mask. It was a new take on the same thing. So
I like that pose too.
yeah, he's particularly good with his weapon. But that's that whole first-person, third-person thing. We didn't worry too much about it at this point. We were just focused on gameplay. So we were trying out the whole procedural tile system. We had crows, we had keys, we had items that were distributed around. Go, ask questions.
Now, what are those two footprints that are on him? Did someone kick him really hard on the ass?
So this was the first definition of being able to see where the survivors ran. So it was actually, at the time, it was a 100% accurate location of where they were. And the game ran much faster as a result. So the survivors were faster, the killer was faster, and he got 100% location of where you were. So if you were running on the other side of a wall, he knew exactly where we were. After we prototyped that for enough time, so that was to give you the feedback that you were making noise because you were running. There's a hatch. Go, escape out the hatch.
It's not going to make it.
Yeah, he is, because I'm playing myself. So yeah, it had chests, it had items, it had all the key ingredients that we were going to put in the final game. And it even shows, like, this was probably just before we were still in Unity at this point, so we were still prototyping. So it was fully networked, it was fully procedural, it had everything, and it was the final piece before we then changed over to Unreal and started full development in that. So really, the majority of our gameplay mechanics were based on this build. There were some features that didn't make it, or yet to make it, because there were lots of things in here that were quite cool. So it's just another look about how we use grey box environments to fast prototype to prove the fun of the game before we start full development and doing everything. And as you know, how many questions we still had to answer moving forward from here.
Yeah.
But it still had the basic generator gameplay, the injury gameplay, the meat locker gameplay, the hooks. It had pretty much everything that became the core of the game.
I think it's great how recognizable it is, even in this form.
I mean, it just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, it had the two exits, they were procedurally placed. So in this one, we had a door. I mean, like, over the course of prototyping, we had 3 different types of exit gate. Each one, we settled on the one we did finally for just what we thought would be the simplest for everyone to play. But this one was the same. You do the generators, you had to do the switch that would open the gate. But here you had a switch on the right there. You can cut it. It doesn't go anywhere now, this video. But that switch on the right would let you reclose the gate behind you.
Ooh,
so
that's
people
devious.
could stand there and open and close the gate. It brought some interesting new Wraith gameplay where the invisible killer could be
hide
inside
in there.
or come through without you knowing. It created some problems too. We also had a prototype of a gate that would close 6 seconds after the first person went through it as well. And if anyone wasn't there, then they'd have to go and do generators again. That created some other things as well. So I think moving forward, we might go back to look at some things like that in the future. But just to show you that in our prototyping process, there were a number of different things we looked at and different ways we tried doing stuff. And I think you're right. Like, the final game looks kind of like that.
Yeah.
Only not so grey.
Not so
Not
great.
so grey.
Make Dead by Daylight grey again.
Yeah, okay, it's on the list. Coming soon. Grey. That's
Grey.
December DLC. So
So we're gonna do snow, just
let's
like
do
everything
Q&A.
great.
Quick Q&A quickly. Let's whip through some Q&A because I know they want to have some questions answered. And Dave's not here, so anything I say will probably be wrong. So that aside, sometimes it feels with your. Are you going to read it to me?
I'll read it to you.
Do it.
All right. Sometimes it feels as if, with your updates, You take a side, either survivor or killer, but the real issues seem to stem from the dynamic of the game. Do you like the direction the game is going in? And do you ever consider changing the overall dynamics of the game instead of buffing or nerfing one side of the equation?
Yes.
There's a lot of questions in there.
There are, but I think
Yeah.
I get the point. Maybe I don't. But well, that's because the answers are all contradictory to the questions that are asked. So yes, we obviously, we talked about the arms race of balance. So that means we do nerf or buff. We tend not to nerf them per se. We might nerf something because we specifically think the metrics tell us that it's wrong, and that's backed up with user data and feedback. So we might nerf something for that reason, obviously. We try not to nerf things if we can avoid it. We try to only improve things positively if we can. That's not always the right answer, so we'll try and nerf it, and sometimes that's not always the right answer. It's a constant balance. I think the answer to the question is, I am happy with the overall direction of the game. I do like it. I do like the fact that things are not as clear as some games have. It's an asymmetrical game. By default, it's going to be unfair in circumstances and fairer in other circumstances. But I like that. I think it's fun. I think it plays into the I don't know what's going to happen element. I don't think we're totally unfair. I think there are situations that could be handled better, and I would like to fix those better, and they might require a more dramatic fix to the overall thing. But it's case by case.
Will there be any reward for hitting rank 1 this season?
Not this season. Oh God, I hope that's right. Well, actually, I hope that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
I would prefer if it were wrong.
Yeah, me too. But I'm going to say no, not this season.
You guys are so cool. I'll rank 1.
I know. What is that?
I haven't even gotten anywhere close to that yet.
So good. People are so good.
This is for whoever wants it. Are there existing plans to create more variety in emotes for both killers and survivors in the future?
I hope so.
Well, you're the animator. Are you going to do more?
Yeah, we have talked about that. That is something we're kind of like batting around. But of course, there's so many things to do, and we only have so much time in the day to do it.
Maybe if you spend less time making videos.
I could.
No, it's
But
not
they
the
love
right
the
answer.
videos,
Of course
though.
they do. Everyone's amazing. It's amazing. I just thought, I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. We'll move on now.
How about the Blood Web? Will it be reworked? The game is currently too much of a grind.
I'm going to go, this game is too much of a grind.
Yeah.
I know that's a belief of Dave's. It's a
Yep.
belief of mine. They are actively, if I didn't do the coming up soon game changes thing, they are working on making the game less of a grind. That is something that is actively happening. So will the Blood Web be reworked? Like, not in a global sense, because I love it, but no, they are. Dave is controlling his beast.
Whoa,
Let
Dave!
us put that
Dave
out
controlling
there.
his beats, 6 minutes of electricity. Anything else you want to?
Oh yeah. Let's go there. There's still another 4 minutes left for me to make.
Dave
even,
actually did tell me what he was planning for that, and I can't tell you.
but
it's cool.
It is cool. It is cool, and it will be. I mean, we get it. I think that the feedback is clear. We understand it. It's out of control, Dave.
Do you want to ask me some questions?
I'm gonna let Ash ask some
Okay,
questions.
sure.
Actually.
Give me that one, because I know the ones
Okay.
you're willing to answer. This is the presidential election campaign. And do you intend to somehow, I have to be calm, prevent high-ranking survivors from using meta builds? I'm just going to leave it there.
Meta builds.
How do you intend to prevent high-ranking survivors using meta builds?
Well, obviously this isn't really my domain, but I do feel strongly about it. I watch people play this game all the time. I play it myself tons. And yeah, sometimes it turns out that there's a certain group of perks that people just say, oh, this is the best, and they just run with that. And I can assure you that we know and that we have all kinds of devious plans to make you change how you play. We're going to force you.
No, I don't like change. It's
no,
scary.
but the thing is, we're gonna take the same process we take with everything, which is we're going to try and change behavior through positive action.
Yeah.
If we fail to take successful steps and we still feel that it's a continuing issue that we want to deal with, then we will
Bust out the ruler.
electrocute or ruler.
Or ruler.
Or set the trapples.
I don't know what they are. Oh, did you say trapple? Did you
What?
say trapple?
What's that?
I don't know. You
I don't
said
know.
it.
Well,
Do you know? Do you know? Still, 4 minutes left. Right. Here's another question for you, Louis.
Yes.
Do you think that the nurse? Do you? That's so not the question. Do
Yes,
you think
I
you
do
nerf?
think-
Do you think you nerf the nurse too hard? Do you?
No.
Okay.
I think that the nurse is still an amazing character, and it's really a pleasure to watch players who are really good with the nurse. I hear very often people say, "Oh, this character is completely unbalanced and totally unfair, too powerful," and then they'll go in and we'll see them play, and then they fail a whole bunch of blinks, and then they say, "Oh, well, I guess I'm just not good enough with this." And then I think that's exactly it. She's a character with a very high skill cap, and obviously, as the running gag here is, we are not afraid to double fix or quadruple fix things.
Yep.
No triple fixes.
But just skip that.
Just skip it.
Skip it straight.
3's a silly number,
but I
anyways.
think, there's a second part to this which I, rudely threw down without reading, and it refers to I can't even find it now, but I'm pretty sure it's like it feels like every game is a trapper or a hillbilly. Well, it is true. Statistically, no. It isn't true, but the rest of the sentence is, it is true, statistically speaking, that we do have a higher, the trapper is the number one killer, and the nurse is the least used
Really?
killer.
Trapper's number one?
Trapper is number one.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
Both
it is and it isn't, and there's reasons and no reasons.
Because of in both his success rate and his play rate?
No, the success rate is not a stat I have looked up this morning. So I can't give you that, but I imagine that's probably not true either. But there's certainly, it probably will not be a correlation between the amount of times he's picked and his success rate. But that's the fun of perception, isn't it? Like, the people will feel that. There are a number of reasons I feel people pick Trapper more than any other killer. Might even partially be down to the fact he's first on the list. But things are going to change. There's going to be a shake-up. We're going to have a new killer soon. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be good.
no
So
idea.
let's see if that shakes the apple tree, the snapple tree.
The Snapple tree. It really doesn't work that in.
Trapple. It's not a snapple tree. That's something that's TM, and I can't.
Snap your neckle tree.
Oh, shh. So that's going to be fun. But like everything, we'll look at the data, we'll adjust. If we feel that both your feedback, which we hear, and the data corroborate each other, then we'll take steps to try and make us. We don't want killers that people don't want to play, and we don't want killers that people only want to play. Like, we're trying to create balance through all the processes I've explained 800 times already today. Your turn.
Like, I'm just the middleman passing
One more
it.
question. One more question, then, and then we will wrap this sucker up.
No.
Are you going to implement different powers for existing killers at some point?
We talked about it. But
I remember
we have no immediate plans for it, but it's something that we talked about. Like, it is easy to foresee many
Clip that.
types
Clip
of
it.
many types of trap for the trapper. So the question is, do we roll out killers with that, or do we roll out more powers? We've been back and forth on that a lot. We've talked about it a lot. It's something that I could foresee happening in the future. We'll see.
I feel that in a way the item add-on system took over for
It
that.
did.
We have certain add-ons that are already kind of what we like to call game changers, which change how the power works, and I think probably in the future there are plans for even more dramatic add-ons that will sort of change a key part of how the power works and make it play different and feel different.
And also with the ability, as we've already shown, of adding new perks or new items or new variations of add-ons or offerings, we can continue to add more of those that might do something. Trouble. What? Nothing. I didn't say anything.
You have any
January
worries?
Giving away
DLC.
too many secrets.
January DLC?
January DLC.
No, there's none of that. There is only October. Let's be clear, and let us show the teaser one more time, unless you all say no really quickly. Okay, show it one more time.
Hey, we're back.
The no's were too late. So we're back, and you have words of wisdom.
I do.
Okay, cool.
Change your underwear daily.
I like it.
That's a good one. That's an important one. Words of wisdom. Stop failing the generators.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Give someone a hug.
It wasn't really words of wisdom, more of just a complaint.
Give someone a hug.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I think so. Not anyone, but, you know what I mean. You got it covered. Anyway, that's great. It was great. I will see you soon. Will you see them soon?
I hope so.
I
So
see
too.
you all the time.
He's always watching.
All right, guys. We will catch you on the next exciting episode of whatever we bring you on Dead by Daylight.
Bye-bye.
See you later.